29. Jesters, Bertrand Russell and Paradox. The jesters were not happy. They put their heart into jesting, joking and clowning at the various courts of their employment, but never were they invited to join in and dine at the banquets at which they jested. Rebellion was in the air, the jesting bells jangled, but instead of rebelling, they planned their own banquet, the jesters' banquet. More accurately, they would hold a banquet for all and only those jesters ineligible to join in banquets at which they performed their jests. To be eligible for the banquet you must not merely be a jester but also one who jested for people who would not permit you to join in their banquets. All such jesters could join the jesters' banquet. The jesters' banquet would be as grand as those of the great courts, dining on swan, with singers and song, even the odd glass of champagne. Arrangements were made, all going according to plan. One day, a thought crossed the jesting minds. We must find ourselves a jester to jest for us at our banquet. After all, we don't want to jest ourselves, that would be too much like work. An excellent idea, they agreed, and, as luck would have it, they happened upon a fresh-faced lad looking for his first jesting job. You shall be our jesting junior. All went well, so well, until today, the banquet day, for here we are, listening into the singers and song, as the jesters dine and wine at their splendid jesters' banquet. They are, of course, somewhat solemn-faced, not wanting themselves to risk working as jesters. Jesting Junior, though, has just performed some fine jokes and jests. Come and join the banquet, Junior, the jesters cry, well, all of them apart from Jesting Stickler, the most stern-faced jester of them all. Our banquet is just for jesters ineligible to join in banquets at which they jest, says Stickler firmly. So, Junior, I'm afraid, cannot join us. Oh yes, he can, answer the others. Oh no, he can't, replies Stickler, with Junior looking suitably baffled. With the cans and can'ts becoming more ferocious, the argument clearly turning into a fracas, a fight forthcoming, we tiptoe away and reflect on the puzzle. Is Jesting Junior eligible to join the banquet? There is nothing contradictory in jesters being employed to perform at banquets, yet ineligible to indulge and dine. There is nothing odd about such jesters feeling unloved, even aggrieved, and hence making their own banqueting arrangements as described. Trouble arises with the jesters employing their own jester. If Jesting Junior is employed by those who do not permit him to dine, then, as the banquet is for all those who work for such stickler employers, he is eligible after all. But if he is eligible to join in the banquet, then, as the banquet is open only to those not allowed to join in the banquets at which they jest, he is surely ineligible. In summary, the conditions of the banquet mean that Jesting Junior is eligible if and only if he is ineligible. That is contradictory. Typically, logicians would conclude that the banquet cannot exist for it has contradictory membership rules. In humility, we resist such a quick response. There can exist, no doubt there do exist, institutions, banqueting clubs, corporations, constitutions, with contradictory rules that cannot be consistently applied in all possible circumstances. They may go unnoticed, for circumstances may not arise which exhibit the inconsistencies. Now, if the existence of our jester's banquet hangs on its conditions determining for all possible individuals, without contradiction, whether they are eligible to banquet or not, then indeed the banquet cannot exist. The banquet's conditions fail to give a consistent answer regarding the eligibility of any possible jester. We have brought this to light by actually having a jester, Jesting Junior, jesting for them. In reality, a banquet or institution or club's existence does not hang on its rule book lacking contradictions. We can tell that the jester's banquet exists by the wining and dining in similar vein. Many of us unwittingly hold contradictory beliefs, yet we get through life undefeated by such contradictions. It is even possible, really, that this book contains the odd contradiction or even quite a few, yet it exists. The jester's banquet exists, but it has a contradictory condition of attendance, if the condition is intended to provide a yes or no answer in all possible circumstances. Related puzzles arose in chapters 25 and 26, where we met Alcala's barber, the liar and, somewhat casually, Groucho Marx, but a more disturbing conundrum now comes along. Our jesting tale is a lead into Russell's great paradox which concerns classes or sets. Classes and sets are abstract entities, unlike banquets and jesters. You are a human being, so you belong to the set of human beings. The set is not itself a human being, it is not made out of flesh and blood, it is not a messy fleshy combination of all humans. It is abstract, as are numbers and the concept of justice. We may meet and eat 3 apples, but the number 3 is not something that we can meet and eat. Whether items are members of the set of humans simply hangs on whether they possess the feature of being human. Pianists, philosophers and princesses are members, but pianos, peacocks and porcupines are not. All members of the set of philosophers are members of the set of humans. The set of philosophers is hence a subset of the set of humans. Now, the set of philosophers itself is not, of course, a philosopher. A set cannot philosophize, so it is not a member of itself. The set of pianos is not itself a piano, so it is not a member of itself. Many sets are not members of themselves. As there are sets that are not members of themselves, there may well be some sets that are members of themselves, and there are. Consider the set of items that are not pork eaters. It includes some people, lots of other creatures, also turnips, trees and treacle, and also itself. The set of non-pork eaters is itself a non-pork eater, so the set of non-pork eaters includes itself. Were sets containers, then we would doubt that a set could ever be a member of itself. How can a container contain itself? Well, a container cannot contain itself, but sets are not containers. Time to give Bertrand Russell, Cambridge philosopher and logician of the early 20th century, also a political activist, a run for his money. By the way, we met him in the prologue. Russell proposed a set, hereafter the Russell set. The feature that determines membership of the Russell set is that members be sets that are not members of themselves. The Russell set contains the set of readers, the set of berets, the set of cannabis users, for no set is itself a reader, a beret or a cannabis user. The Russell set does not contain the set of non-pork eaters, for that set is a member of itself. Now, here comes our jesting and troubling question. Is the Russell set a member of itself? Suppose that the Russell set is a member of itself, then it belongs to the set of items that are not members of themselves, so it is not a member of itself. Suppose that it is not a member of itself, then it qualifies to be a member of the set of items that are not members of themselves, so it is a member of itself. Paradoxically, the Russell set is a member of itself if and only if it is not a member of itself. The Russell set leads us into contradiction, as did the Jester's banquet. With the Jester's banquet we made sense of how the banquet could exist yet with contradictory conditions for attendance. After all, we could see the banquet in full flow. In contrast, we cannot make sense of the Russell set existing, albeit with contradictory conditions. We can pick out a set only by the conditions for determining whether items are members or not. Contradictory conditions fix nothing. If given the contradictory instruction, right now, both turn off and don't turn off the light, there is nothing possible you can do correctly to obey, you are baffled. Similarly, the conditions for the Russell set fail to determine a set. Russell's contradiction arises from the feature, is not a member of itself. That feature, though, usually gives no trouble. It is intelligible. Witness the simple examples given of it above, and it is used to provide perfectly acceptable mathematical results. So, arguably a continuing puzzle is how best to handle the feature, how to justify restricting it, to avoid the paradox. When, in 1902, Russell discovered the paradox of his Russell set, he revealed it to the German logician Gottlob Frege. The paradox undermined a basic assumption held by Frege, and Russell's communication led to Frege abandoning his approach to logic and mathematics. Russell later commented, "As I think about acts of integrity and grace, I realize that there is nothing in my knowledge to compare with Frege's dedication to truth." His entire life's work was on the verge of completion. Much of his work had been ignored to the benefit of men infinitely less capable. His second volume was about to be published, and upon finding that his fundamental assumption was in error, he responded with intellectual pleasure, clearly submerging any feelings of personal disappointment. Russell was evidently greatly moved by Frege's commitment to truth, and, despite, or maybe because of, Russell's chaotic personal life, Russell too sought after abstract heavens of mathematics, untainted by contradiction. For Russell, mathematics should possess eternal truth and supreme beauty, a beauty cold and austere, like that of sculpture. Russell's discovery of his paradox was therefore highly unsettling, probably more so for him than for Frege, for the paradox gave but the foothold of shifting sands. And the sands of attempted solutions continue to shift.